Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium, and doesn't that sound nice? After a long road trip, the Royals begin an 8-game homestand with the first place Cleveland Indians, and this will be a special weekend all throughout baseball. It is Players Weekend. Teams will wear special colored jerseys with their nicknames on the back, special colored shoes, bats, batting gloves, you name it. And we always have a special colored analyst here in the booth. Rex Hudler, nice jersey, and you've got your nickname on the back.
I know what it's all about is to let the fans know a lot more about the players. Yeah. That's what it's all about. But for me, it's old hat. Wonder Dog was what they called me, and actually, it was one of the more flattering nicknames I had. But look, it's a lot of fun, man.
And Chris Berman gave you that nickname. That was a big honor back in the day.
He did. You know, and Rex was a dog's name back in the old elementary school books. See Rex run. Then it went to Spot. Now it's something else now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you can see Rex broadcast tonight as the Royals begin a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians. They are the first-place team in our division. So the Royals could use some offense tonight, and I imagine Whit Merrifield will have something to do with that. We could talk about Whit every night. We'll talk about him again tonight. He has a 12-game hitting streak. It is KU night. Fans get the special cap. They also get Buck Night and fireworks after the game. Ryan Lefebvre back with Rex Hudler. Whit Merrifield is on quite a run. He's the only major leaguer who's had 3 hitting streaks of 12 or more games this year. So you ask, when did all this begin? How about the end of the first month of the season? He's our Kia drive to success.
You know what? He's been pressing hard to let fans know that last year was not a fluke. He could do it again, and he might just lead the league again in steals because he's been getting on base. But the way he swings that magic wand is amazing. He goes line to line. It doesn't matter where they're playing. 2-hit, multi-hit Whit. He's everywhere. Middle, pulls, left, right. If you leave one up, he'll take you deep. Fun to watch.
On his way to being the Royals Player of the Year, Brad Keller might have a shot at being the Royals Pitcher of the Year this year. Joel and Monty are coming up next.
2 appearances against the Tribe, both in relief, so it'll be his first start. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, and little Jeff Montgomery. It's the bobblehead tomorrow night, so he'll come out to the ballpark. Will Brad Keller pitch well tonight? Little Monty says yes. So if that's the case, how does he need to do it?
I think he keeps doing exactly what he's been doing lately. He's got wins in his last 2 starts. The only thing I'd like to see him do is do it a little more efficiently. Last time out, he only went 5 innings against the White Sox. Only gave up the 1 run, but 94 pitches in 5 innings. When he's on, he's pounding that strike zone. He's down in the strike zone. A lot of ground balls. He has given up home runs in his last 2 outings. He's normally in the ballpark, so that'll be a big key for him tonight.
But he is not walking guys as we saw, so it was just that solo home run. The Royals going up, though, against the powerful Indians. Back to Kauffman Stadium after this.
Is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. It is KU night at Kauffman Stadium. The Indians are in town for a 3-game series. They have a 12-game lead in the division. And a year ago tonight, they began a 22-game winning streak. Mike Clevenger pitches for the Indians. Brad Keller for the Royals. The first pitch is next. the last 2 days with highs in the 70s, but it's back to Kansas City weather. It's 90 degrees at first pitch tonight as the Royals begin an 8-game homestand. Last year for the Indians, it was more about pitching than hitting, but not this year. The Indians can beat you in many ways. They are 3rd in the league in runs scored, 2nd in the league in home runs, and they lead the major leagues in stolen bases. So it's a big test for the Royals pitching staff, and tonight it's Brad Keller, and the Indians will be seeing him for the 3rd time this year, but the first time as a starter.
Yeah, you know what? He's not afraid of anything. I love his disposition. He's got really good composure on that mound. And his key tonight is to keep the sinker down. He does a great job. 227 opponent average on those pitches, and Ryan mentioned 175 home runs. That's 2nd most in the league, so they're powerful. Keep it down. Try not to make any mistakes up. They'll hurt you. Forward around the horn, Royals defense. Nice to see Jorge Bonifacio back out there in right. 31st start this year. He was out for most of the Tampa series. And Lucas Duda's over there at first base tonight. He's playing in his 84th game, 58th at first base. He's only aired twice. He's been really good at first base.
Our crew chief is Gary Cedarstrom. He's at second base, a college baseball player at Minot University in North Dakota. Ramon De Jesus will call the balls and strikes tonight. And we just found out as we went through the Royals defense that the Royals made a late switch. Ryan O'Hearn will be at first base tonight, not Lucas Duda. Duda is the designated hitter.
Okay. After all that love I gave him on defense there. Okay, Ryan O'Hearn. So far, he showed like he's playing a pretty good first base outside of that little errant throw last night. But look, it happens. We're all going to miss on occasions.
Just stands out a little more when it's the play that ends the game.
Yes, it does.
Or a lot more. First pitch strike to Francisco Lindor, who's at it again. Down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And as is typically the case, you can find him all over the league leaderboard. 29 home runs, 76 driven in. Pretty good for a leadoff hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a look at our Toyota League leaderboard. These are the major league leaders, and that is statistic of #1 priority for a leadoff man, scoring runs, and nobody has scored more runs than Francisco Lindor.
Both sides of the plate, switch hitter.
Still 2-2. So the Royals are back from that tough trip. They were 1-6 in Chicago and Tampa Bay. The Indians were in Boston, and they split a 4-game series with the Red Sox. So I think just about any team would take that, go to Fenway and split 4. But the Red Sox, or the Indians rather, Terry Francona's team had won 8 consecutive series before that split. And typical of a Terry Francona team, they have really taken off in the second half.
Yep, they're always a second half team, and a lot of that is because of Terry Francona and the way he backs his players, the way he supports them. He's a real players manager.
Another foul ball.
Man, this is what he does. This is what they all do. They grind your at bats. 8th, 9th pitch coming, and in the meantime he keeps seeing which ones he likes. He keeps seeing, chokes up. He's got a good idea.
And he bounces one into center field for a game opening single.
Had him played defensively straight up. That's what he does. Keller, when he's going good, his 2-seamers down, he's going to get a lot of ground balls. And, you know, Cleveland, they're dangerous in the first inning. 97 runs scored. The first inning are the most in the league and number 2 in baseball besides the Diamondbacks. I mean, you know, they just are relentless. The first inning is just, here we come. They ambush a lot of teams. We've seen it against us.
So from one hitter that typically wears out the Royals to another, Michael Brantley. Royals and Indians have played 9 games this year, and Brantley has 13 RBIs. He fouls that breaking ball away. Junior is Brantley's nickname, which he is not. His father, however, Mickey Brantley, had a nice long big league career as both a player and a coach. Although, now that I think about it, Mickey might have been a nickname for Michael, but I always knew Mickey as Mickey.
Yep, sounds about right.
A lot of foul balls in the first inning. Well, what do they say, Hud? You learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
Michael Charles Brantley. That's Mickey's name. And Michael is Michael Charles Brantley Jr. There you go.
Okay. I'm glad we know that. And we're going to find out a lot over the weekend. This is the second year in a row that Major League Baseball has made this weekend the Players' Weekend. It's the official term they're using.
Players' Weekend.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. And man, first 2 hitters just wearing Keller out.
Take a look at Statcast AI, powered by AWS. Well, Keller's thrown 14 pitches to the first 2 hitters, and he's done nothing wrong. He has thrown 12 strikes among those 14 pitches. And Lindor and Brantley are just fouling him away.
Well, you know, do you notice that Brantley's going to the opposite field? He's staying inside the ball, trying to shoot that hole there where there's 1 defender on the left side. Now, the Indians have grounded into the 3rd fewest double plays in baseball. There's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Well, after 10 foul balls to the first 2 hitters, Brantley gets caught with the bat on his shoulder.
Yeah. Hey, look, it happens to the best of them. Hang with them. Brantley, you got to go. That's exactly what Ned was talking about before the game for his young guys, especially Keller. Attack the strike zone.
One-on-one out to Jose Ramirez. He's having another MVP type season. Who in the world would have predicted 37 home runs for Jose Ramirez? And we still have over a month to go this year. Who would have predicted that he'd hit 37 home runs if you combined 2 seasons or 3 seasons? And he just continues to get better.
Yeah, and just extremely confident player.
Salvi keeps it in front of him. 1 ball and no strikes. Ramirez is the subject of our Kubota Power Stats. The 3rd most home runs in the major leagues. Jose Ramirez. Last year he hit 29. And that was shocking. But just 3 years ago, he was struggling to hit .220 and hit just 6 home runs. The next year, he got his average up and started to hit for power. And I think a lot of people figured, well, that was going to be his ceiling. And he's been able to shake off that label of just being a utility type player.
Oh, I'll say.
Valuable utility type player. He could play all over the field. He's a switch hitter, and he's gone from that to an MVP candidate.
Ty Van Berkeley, his hitting coach, tells me that he hits his pitch. He waits for it. He's very patient. 84 walks, that's not going to lead the league, but he's very selective.
Like that one right there.
Yeah.
Most hitters would take a rip at that pitch and it would be 2 balls 2 strikes. He lays off it and it's 3-1.
Watch him. His eyes tell his hands, don't do it. He's trying to get you to roll over into a double play. Keep that ball down.
And he takes a walk. So Keller's throwing strikes despite the walk. But all those foul balls, he's at 20 pitches already, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 out, and Encarnacion coming up.
There you go. There's his pitch selections. The sinker, that's been his pitch. Be tough to beat them upstairs with a 4-seamer when they're looking to hit the ball to the park, especially the guy stepping in right now. Don't leave anything up there. Even this park here, as big as it is, can't hold him.
Up and away for ball 1.
But you notice, this is just now their 3rd at bat of the night. They compete in their at bats. They're competing. They're out there. Hey, look, I'm going to hit my pitch. That's one of the reasons why they're so dangerous offensively.
One and one. Encarnacion spent a little bit of time on the disabled list. He had a couple of arms that were bothering him. He had a sore right hand and a sore left biceps, but was on the DL for just the 10 days. And his 85 RBIs are 4th in the American League, and he has 2 on with 1 out. That'll be back into the crowd. 1 ball 2 strikes.
Now you can't put him in the lane, though. I talked about the hit into the 3rd fewest double plays, but he's grounded to 10. Encarnacion. They're playing him to pull 3 infielders on the left side.
2-2. Keller in his last 2 starts has allowed just 1 run in each of the starts. A solo home run, and that's it. And against a team that hits a lot of home runs, Keller has allowed very few. Encarnacion asks for an appeal, and be careful what you ask for. Stu Sherwater says he's out, and Keller strikes out his 2nd.
See him on side of the ball. That's the slider. Good rotation too. It's downward movement. A lot harder to square up. I think he went.
Trying a little reverse psychology there, that if a hitter's asking for an appeal and he is confident he didn't go around.
It's beautiful.
But it didn't work. So 25 pitches, and now 2 on 2 out to Yonder Alonso. Oh and 1. Salvi will give it a look, but it's back into the third row, and it's 0-2 on Alonso. Mr. 305, and I'm assuming that that is an area code, and it is the area code for Miami, where Alonso grew up.
Okay.
He was born in Cuba. 1 ball 2 strikes, and defected with his parents and his sister in 1995 in a small airplane.
Oh.
So you hear about all those defection stories by way of water. Not the Alonsos.
Good for him. Although you hope you have a good pilot.
Did he make contact? No. So Keller, just like Duffy last night, has a 29 pitch first inning and does not allow a run. The Royals will face right-hander Mike Clevenger when we come back. Has most of the young guys in the batting order tonight against Mike Clevenger. Good to see Jorge Bonifacio back in there. He missed a few games with a sore lower back. Ryan O'Hearn, Hunter Dozier, Brett Phillips, Adalberto Mondesi are all in there. Rosel Herrera is not. And Mike Clevenger is backing up what he did last year. He went 12-6 for the Indians with an ERA a little over 3. His record is not as impressive this year, but he still has a solid ERA at 3.25.
He does, but you know what? He'll give you a pitch to hit. Look at that opponent's average on the fastball. 12 homers. Don't miss it.
Inside to Whit Merrifield, who has another hitting streak, 12 games, 4th time in his career he's had a hitting streak of 12 or more games. 3 of those are this year, and he's just the 3rd Royal to accomplish that. Johnny Damon in 2000 and David DeJesus in 2008. And Whit Merrifield this year, the only Royals in a single season. 3 hitting streaks of 12 or more games.
Pretty impressive. Numbers don't lie. Look at that. That's lava hot. Get much over 400. You're going to get magma hot. That's the hottest.
What's magma? About 450 maybe?
Yeah, like 430 better. I like 450
Okay,
really. Yeah, 450.
All right.
It happens, but rarely.
He is the only big leaguer this year with 3 streaks of 12 or more games. And he'll take a leadoff walk. This is the third time that the Royals have faced Mike Clevenger, and actually they have quite a few hits against him. But remember, in much of the first half, the Royals weren't doing much with runners in scoring position, and that's what saved Clevenger against the Royals.
Yep. Matter of fact, they've hit 320 off of him in the previous 2 starts, but just 2 for 11 in that category you're talking about there, where you got to get the big hit. Maybe we'll see it. Could definitely see it from Alex, the way he's shortened up using the whole field.
We touched on this last night about how, you know, Alex's numbers, if you weren't watching the games and you just watch the box score and you think, boy, he's really struggling, not getting many hits. But now with more numbers available, there's just a lot of bad luck for him over the past month.
Yep.
And Alex hits it into shallow right center field, and it's down. So the solution to the problem is don't hit it too hard. And the Royals have 2 on, nobody out.
Good for him. 4-seam fastball. He picked it out, and it's right down the middle. Jammed him a little bit. Melky is not the greatest defender in his 13th year in the majors. So Whit thought about going to third base, but he didn't. Nobody out. I Guess Whitley can be Whitley tonight since it's on his back.
But is Whitley a nickname, if that's your name?
I don't know, but like always, listening to the Price Chopper live pregame show with Goldie, Price Chopper Royals Live, they were talking, they interviewed Whit, and Whit said that, you know, trying to mess with HUD. I said, look, that's messing with me. I haven't been able to sleep the last couple of nights, been mispronouncing. I want Whit. We'll call you Whit. But he's Whitley tonight. Let's save that for his mom.
The White Sox and the Rays held Salvador Perez to just 2 RBIs during the trip. That stays inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Right idea, though. He was wanting to turn on that curveball. It'll start at you if it's going to be a hittable one, and if it's not hittable, it starts in the middle and ends up off the plate away.
Got him to chase. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Salvi with a Venezuelan themed bat. And I noticed when Francisco Lindor was batting in the top of the first inning, his was a Puerto Rican themed bat, honoring the homeland. Wouldn't chase that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh. Clevenger, he's saying, wow, he normally chases that. I have to give him a pitch to hit it. Better not be straight.
Deep right center field and gone. So that takes care of the road trip. 2 RBIs over the week on the road, and 3 with his first swing on the homestand.
Ooh, man, I'll tell you, that You need to pass out some earplugs. That was loud. Look where that pitch is. Down away, 94. You can't barrel a ball any better. And for a right-hander, I don't care how big or strong you are, to go to opposite field here, one of the biggest ballparks in the world, you got to really hit it. And he gave that ball a drink. The hydration station. Opposite field. Check it out. That's right. He likes that bat. Woo.
Duda hits it a mile high. Ramirez has a long run with the overshift as Mike Jershely clears the area. That's the first out. Well, you said it. He chased the first slider, didn't chase the next one, and Clevenger went against the grain there. I think most pitchers would have gone with yet another slider, but he challenged him with a fastball.
Yeah, man. Let's see how that exit velo, 108. Man, to carry that far too, 27-degree launch angle. That tells me it's pretty much line drive. I mean, it had enough to get it all the way out there. You have to.
Fouled away by Jorge Bonifacio. He last played on Monday, and then he was in the lineup Tuesday, but was scratched with lower back stiffness, which happened in a workout before the game on Tuesday, and did not play Wednesday or last night. One ball, one strike. Merrifield walked, Gordon singled, and Salvador Perez hit a 3-run home run. Two and one. Well, we were just talking about the Royals against Clevenger in his first two starts. They were getting plenty of hits. They just weren't getting big hits. And that's low. 3 balls, 1 strike. The numbers are a little deceiving. He has a very low, or had a very low ERA against the Royals. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 15 innings and 3 earned runs in his first 2 starts. But as HUD pointed out, the Royals hit .321 against him in those 2 games. They just couldn't get the guys home.
Big hits, some key.
Grounded out to Ramirez in time, and Bonifacio is out number 2.
Defensively, the Cleveland Indians, they have made the 7th most errors this year out of 15 teams. It's not too bad. And they're a +7 in defensive runs saved. Their catcher, Yan Gomes, he's thrown out 29%, is always amongst the league leaders in that category. 30%, anywhere around that, is an excellent mark. Now Salvi is in a league of his own. He's at 50. And he'll be challenged, Salvi will, in this series. They run, they steal. They got most stolen bases.
Ryan O'Hearn with 2 down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I bet O'Hearn was happy to get that call late. He wants to swing the bat. He was DHing originally, so he was going to be in there regardless. But he wants to play a little bit of first base.
Especially after the error last night, which ended the game, which wasn't a terrible throw. It would have been a good play by Salvi to get it.
If he picked it, his glove angle, Salvi's glove was a little bit flat to the ground. If he'd have opened it up a little more, might have could have picked it.
I think both errors that the Royals made last night, which led to the tying run and the winning run, both Whit Merrifield and Ryan O'Hearn had a little more time. Just maybe half a beat to slow down, set your feet, find the target, but both were trying to make big plays, and in doing so didn't get the throw where they wanted to.
Yep, I agree with that.
That's a foul ball. O'Hearn did not make contact with it. Running out of the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike Sunshine Clevenger, which would tell me he's a happy-go-lucky guy.
Okay. Battery, maybe, is he from the Sunshine State? I don't know. Just guessing.
He is. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. So maybe that's what it is. It's our last look at the Sun tonight on a pleasant night at the ballpark, and Al Hearn is giving Clevenger a battle. So he'll see at least 9 pitches. Ryan had a couple of home runs on the trip. Slider got him swinging. So the first 3 score, and then Clevenger gets the next 3. Salvador Perez hits a 3-run home run to give the Royals the early lead. Are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. So we welcome you in countries abroad and aboard naval ships at sea, and we thank you for your service. Melky Cabrera signed with the Indians late and then was released in the middle of June and then re-signed. And he chops it out to Mondesi. And Keller could really use that, a quick out. He threw 29 pitches in the first inning, and then Mike Clevenger took the mound in the bottom of the first and threw 30 pitches.
Wow. We don't see many like that, where both pitchers throw about the same amount. Cool bats. They all have their own little flavor.
Jason Kipnis, Dirtbag is his nickname, which in the baseball world is a compliment.
Exactly.
I don't want to say you want to run out and call your neighbor a dirtbag, but on the diamond, it's another way of describing a scrappy ball player.
That's right. Down and dirty.
Didn't the Long Beach State baseball team change their nickname about 20 years ago or so?
Yeah, they're the Dirtbags,
right?
Yeah, they are. There's been a lot of dirtbags in the big leagues since they changed their name. Jason Vargas, Jared Weaver, Tulowitzki, and more.
Longoria, Evan Longoria.
Longo. guys are all still in the big leagues.
Dirt bags.
Yeah, how about it?
3-2. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes on Kipnis, who's having a down year. Really battled injuries the past few years. That has not been an issue this year, but the numbers aren't to his norm. He was on the disabled list 3 times last season.
Man, just taxing Keller with foul balls tonight. I think a lot of it's because he's up in the zone some with it, with his fastball. Salvy's saying down here. Yeah, that's up.
And it stays up for Phillips. 2 down.
So as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
That's right. Wave at the camera.
They see themselves out there. Ah. I think the best is when now they get their cell phones out. If anybody recognizes them and they call and now they're laughing, and that's great. Technology is amazing.
Oh, 2 on Yan Gomes with his Brazilian bat. Born in Brazil and then moved to Miami when he was about 12 years old. And he became the first Brazilian born player to make it to the big leagues. Then a pitcher named Andre Rienzo, and then Paulo Orlando.
Not very many, but to say you've been the first, he'll always cherish that. Good pitch.
And a good bounce back. It was a long first inning for Keller, but he gets the Indians in order in the second.
And a great sight to see just after 5 o'clock this evening, as the Royals perhaps getting a little closer to getting a couple of players back. Joel Goldberg down here by the dugout. And at 5:03 here this evening, a simulated game had Ian Kennedy throwing to different hitters, including Jorge Soler. Here is the report from head trainer Nick Kennedy. Great stuff on Ian Kennedy. He threw essentially the equivalent of 3 innings, 3 20-pitch innings to live hitting. Assuming that he feels good tomorrow, he would go into that normal 5-day program for a starting pitcher, which means he'd throw a side session in 2 or 3 days, and then in 5 days he would go out for a rehab assignment. Jorge Soler, no timetable on him, but he continues to progress. the hitting is increasing in volume and increasing intensity. Same thing for the throwing. The running is at about 50%, Nick said, and not 50% in terms of ability, but just in where they're ramping it up. So that is the slowest in progress with that injury. Very pleased with the progress, though, of Jorge Soler.
Dozier went around and strikes out, and that's Clevenger's second. Well, sure would like to see Soler get back at some point, you know, so he could go into the offseason with his last memory not being breaking his foot.
Yeah, you hope he can get some time in September. I watched him take some fly balls today off of Mitch Meyer's fungo bat, and they were hitting him right at him. So, just like Joel said, 50%. But for Kennedy, you notice Joel said they'll wait and see how he feels tomorrow. There might be somebody out there that's listening that goes, oh, I wonder why they can't ask him tonight. Well, it's because when you pitch, that's an unnatural motion for your arm, and when you throw that ball like that in live speed, you're going to be sore the next day, but you want to be sore in the right places. And if they're sore where they got injured, that's not good.
1-2 on Brett Phillips. And along those lines, Danny Duffy had the so-called right soreness today after coming back from the disabled list last night. Gomes runs to his dugout, but it's back into the crowd and now further back. Brett's happy to be back at Kauffman Stadium. The road trip was not very kind to him, although it was nice for him to be able to go home. Growing up not far from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, but he was 0 for 16 against the White Sox and the Rays.
Yeah, not good.
Wiped the slate clean.
What they're working on with him now is just to try to keep a good level swing and shorten it up just a tad, because the 28 strikeouts and 64 at bats in a Royals uniform, that's not good.
And it seems like he's 0-2, 1-2 in just about every at bat. That's a tough spot to be in. And he was expecting something other than a fastball, so he's looking. And now Clevenger has struck out the last 3 going back to the first inning. So it'll be Mondesi with 2 down and nobody on. If the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Mondesi, like Bonifacio, didn't play much in the Rays series. His last game was Tuesday night. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals got a 3-run home run from Salvador Perez in the bottom of the first inning. And that was before Clevenger recorded an out. And he was not able to get the Royals to chase his breaking ball. They were, for the most part, laying off of his curveball and his slider. Now he's getting more swings on those pitches in this inning.
Yeah, and you know, you watch him, he's got a lot of deception. Clevenger might have the most deception of any right-hander. You see this? Look at him shake it. See how he goes back and forth like that? The last time he pitched in Cleveland, the day after, I went in there and I said, hey, tell me why you're moving sideways like that. And he said he wants the arch of his right foot on the slab to feel a connection with the ground. So that's why he shakes back and forth like that. Watch him. He says he wants to get that foot in there. Interesting. Ooh.
A called 3rd strike on a borderline pitch, and now Clevenger has struck out the last 4.
Paint. for Oklahoma City Thunder Day this Sunday. Purchase a themed ticket to receive an exclusive Thunder and KC branded cap so you can rep both teams in style. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets to purchase now.
Look at that sky.
Just spectacular. Do you ever watch the sky at sunsets with your kids and you say, hey, what did you see there? What is that?
I think my guys are a little young for that.
Okay.
I'm at a point where I look at a sunset and I think, what animated movie does that remind me of?
Okay. There's a lot to draw from tonight. It's gorgeous.
2 balls, 1 strike. Two and 2 on Greg Allen, who's getting a chance to play. If the Indians are banged up in one area, it's their outfield. They have 4 outfielders on the disabled list right now. Lonnie Chisenhall, Rajay Davis, Tyler Naquin, and Leonis Martin, who had a scare. He had a life-threatening bacterial infection, and Greg Allen's making the most of it. He's on to begin the 3rd inning, and just a couple of days ago he lost a 14-game hitting streak.
Yeah, last time we saw Cleveland, he wasn't doing much at all. It didn't look like he was overmatched with the bat, the young man Greg Allen, but he's coming on strong. And there's talk of Cleveland acquiring some other outfielders, so I'm sure he reads that too and says,
There's a week left for the waiver trade deadline. Francisco Lindor had a long battle with Keller to begin the game and then grounded a base hit into center field. Up and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Keller has been good at get the ball home to Salvi. One thing I've liked since the very first time I've seen him, especially when he's gotten in the rotation and faced more base runners, is that he's quick home, but he's also learned how to vary his hold times, which is really important. And mix in that little quick throw over sometimes, hold for 1001, 1002, 1003, and go home, and then next time just only go to 1001 and go home. Can't get a good jump that way.
And now he comes set, and Lindor asked for time right before the pitch was thrown.
Yep, you see that a lot when you get to 1003. 1004. It's too much for the hitter to concentrate for that long. Calls time. Allen's 12 out of 13 in steals.
There he goes. And Salvi's throw is right on the bag.
Oh, man.
Gary Cederstrom called him safe.
That was beautiful. What a throw. I mean, Allen with a great jump. I mean, he couldn't have got a better jump than that. That was perfect all the way around. Perfect jump. Oh, man. Well, that looked like a tie. Got to get that tag on and quick.
Yeah, he just looks like he's got his hand.
I don't know, to overturn it. Nope.
He's got his hand to the bag.
Yep, he did. He beat it.
That's a great shot.
Oh, man, fabulous shot, and just an excellent job of getting a jump and stealing a base on the world's best catch and throw catcher.
Out away, Mike Meyer.
There you go. Stay hot, Mike. That's the big leagues.
Allen goes back to second. Alex gets behind the fly ball. Here comes Allen. Here comes the throw, and Allen beats that one. So he is singled. He is stole second. And he goes to third on a fly ball to left field.
Okay, if you're playing the outfield and you're trying to make your coach happy, back up. Watch Alex. He's backing up, and then he comes in and catches that ball going forward, gaining some kind of momentum on the throw. It had to be perfect to get him. It's just off a little bit. It's pretty good hustle right there. When you got speed and power in your offense, you got a lot.
The Royals will play with the infield back with a 3-0 lead. Dozier is in at third. No swing and no call on a strike to Brantley, who took a called third strike in the first inning. Keller struck out 4 in the first 2. One and one. Two balls, one strike on Brantley. G-Rag. Brantley lines it to left field. Allen went back to the bag, and Alex was tempted to throw to the plate. So that's an interesting decision there, because had Alex caught that ball on the fly, I don't think Allen would have had a chance to tag and score, and he almost got caught going in the wrong direction, but Brantley drives him in to get the Indians on the board.
When it's up, it has a better chance to get put in play. Watch Allen there on your left. He's going to go back and think, you know what? No, with you have that kind of speed, that makes up for almost any kind of mistake you make. Blessing to have speed or power. Some have both.
Like this guy.
Yep.
And with his speed, no chance to get a double play. The Royals made it close. Brantley is erased at second base. 2 down.
Tomorrow night, Fox Sports Kansas City will bring you both the Royals Indians game and Sporting KC's match against Minnesota United. Royals Indians will be here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Coverage starts at 5:30. Sporting KC will be on Fox Sports Kansas City Plus at 7. For channel listings, go to foxsportskansascity.com. Both games will also be streaming on Fox Go. Fox Sports Go.
Keller struck out Encarnacion with a slider in the first inning. One ball and no strikes. Ramirez has stolen 28 bases. He, Whit Merrifield, and D. Gordon of the Mariners are tied for the league lead.
He'll go. He's really aggressive. I mean, he'll take off sometimes first pitch, not second pitch. But with 2 outs, if he gets caught, you don't want Encarnacion leading off the inning. So usually if they don't want you to run, the word will get to Alomar, the first base coach. That's Sandy Alomar. Francona probably has a sign for him. We'll say don't go. When he doesn't say that, he's on his own. Green light.
Two and two.
To be a successful base stealer, you're not going to get a direct sign from the third base coach. You're going to be on your own to pick your spot to get the jump. Most of those guys have a high percentage.
Fouled it off of his ankle.
Like Ramirez, he's got 28 steals, been thrown out just 5 times. Merrifield, 28, has just been thrown out 8 times. That's good percentage.
Full count, and now Ramirez will be running. Out to Mondesi. Hitting over. The Indians get a run. Greg Allen comes home on Brantley's RBI. It's 3-1 KC. And if you're wondering if he's related, yes, he's the great grandson of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Merrill joined People to People International, the nonprofit established to enhance international understanding and friendship through educational, cultural, and humanitarian activities. And Merrill is the Chief Executive Officer of People to People, and he's sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at tonight's game.
Congratulations, Merrill.
Whit hits it high and deep to left field. The wind is blowing out toward left, and Brantley had just a couple of steps to work with. He also didn't have a great sky to work with in that it's twilight, so the ball sometimes disappears into the sky, but Brantley makes the play.
Whitley hits a little higher on the ball. He had him a homer, no doubt. That's a tough one. Look at him. After he catches the ball, he's still looking for it. Watch him. He's going to catch the ball and keep his head peeled right up in the sky. Whew. That's a nice shot there.
One and one on Alex. He singled and scored on Salvi's first inning 3-run home run. And since Salvi's home run, Clevenger has set down 7 in a row with 4 strikeouts. Two and two. 5 strikeouts for Clevenger and 2 down in the 3rd inning. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Man, oh man. Best home run of the year for Sally. Right there, no doubt. And the farthest, I'm sure, without looking at the numbers, because that ball was hit where a lot of left-handed power hitters can hit it there, but not many righties can go up there. Mike Trout could probably do it. We saw Chris Davis do it. Not a whole lot fall in there. Oh, right at it.
So make it 9 straight knocked down by Clevenger since the Salvi home run, and that was just a 7-pitch 3rd inning. Presents our annual This One's For You broadcast honoring our armed forces. This year we've joined forces with the USO and the Royals, and George Brett, Brett Saberhagen, Reggie Sanders, Mike Sweeney, and Joel Goldberg will meet deployed troops in the Middle East, including the Missouri National Guard 35th Combat Aviation Brigade out of Sedalia. So we look forward to that on September the 11th here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Yonder Alonso, Melky Cabrera, and Jason Kipnis are coming up. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Alonso. He struck out in the 1st inning. Salvador Perez has hit a 3-run home run for the Royals. Michael Brantley has an RBI single for the Indians. One and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Joel mentioned earlier tonight that Keller got his first big league win against Cleveland. That was on May the 11th out of the bullpen. And so the run that the Indians scored in the 3rd inning was their first against Keller in 7 1/3 innings this year. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He's doing a nice job. That pitch count, though, is a little bit high for this time of the game, but whenever you can hold the Cleveland Indians down early in the game, you're doing something. Score most of their runs early. But they have the ability to score anytime.
Breaking ball hung. Bonifacio is back, and now it's a one-run game. So Alonso looked like he was out in front, but he kept his hands back. And he's hit his 21st of the year.
Man, it didn't sound good. It sounded like it was off the end of the batty. See where it was. It's a hanger. And he barreled it obviously, but he didn't barrel it like he can. Still got it up high enough.
Still a low number. Keller has given up 6 home runs in over 103 innings, so that's impressive. He is now allowed a home run in 3 straight starts and 5 of his last 7, but most have been solo home runs, and he usually just bounces right back afterward. Has the ability to shake off a big hit and just move on.
Yep, does a great job of keeping the ball in the yard and moving past.
O'Hearn will shuffle over to the bag to get Melky Cabrera 1 out.
Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Hope it happens.
Jason Kipnis with 1 out. He lined out to Phillips in center field in the 2nd inning. Two balls, no strikes. Another chance for O'Hearn, and he has time. So a home run, and now 2 ground balls, 3 unassisted, and Keller will get Yan Gomes with 2 away. So solo home run. Comes back and gets a couple of weak ground balls to first.
You're right. Nothing seems to faze him.
And now Gomes golfs a low pitch deep to left field, and that hits the top of the fence. So just a couple of feet from tying the game at 3, and Yan Gomes, who already has 2 big home runs against the Royals this year, he's at second base with 2 down.
Oh man. Wow. How about that? That back leg, Mo Lottery will show you the replay. Watch his back leg as he hits. Watch, it's going to go down. He's going down so he can reach and barrel it down there, and gosh, I went a long way for being off balance like that. Something's going on out there in the outfield. And I noticed the bullpen that was up, and don't know what's going on.
I think there might be some problems with the telephone, and
I don't know though. I think there's water.
Oh, yeah,
there's water going on, because I saw the pin.
Busted sprinkler.
I saw the pin getting up, and they were all going over there and watching what was going on, and it's flooding in the outfield. Yeah, that's what it is. A little river going on out there.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Because I noticed the bullpen guys all getting up, and they were rubbernecking down the right field, or down to the center of the field. Thinking, I started looking in the stands. I'm going, oh, something's going on out there, and sure enough, they got a leak.
Yeah, look at that. That's going into right center field. That's quite a ways from the bullpen. Look at all that. Well, I'm not sure about the umpire's responsibility, but grown men can play with a little bit of water in the outfield.
Sure they can.
So they're going to try and move that water toward a drain. That's Eric Cooper, third base umpire, and it's still, look at it, it's just pouring out of there.
Row your boat.
Another issue you might have too is, I mean, it would take a lot of water, but they're trying to keep it, well, I was thinking right here, keep it away from the mound, because the Royals need to warm somebody up in the bullpen. They don't want to do it in the mud.
There's the drain.
Proving once again, you can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, it looks like that's coming. Some sort of a underground pipe, so would it take longer to dig down and fix the pipe, or figure out the valve that turns the water off? Because man, that water's coming out in, looks like a gallon in about 10 seconds. So Alex has time to tell Yan Gomes about Monty's bobblehead tomorrow. That's to the first 20,000 fans, courtesy of Farmland. Tomorrow's game is at 7. Check that, 6:15 with the Indians. Royals.com for tickets. So what do you think they're talking about here? You think your guys can play in the mud?
I don't know. Ned's not. It doesn't look like he's really happy, but there's a smile.
Do you have a good time with that on the road trip?
I loved it. We had a blast. And you know what, fans, you can get one of your own. Come tomorrow. Check it out. Be one of the first 20,000.
And then you can take it all around the country.
You can take him with you like Flat Stanley, remember? I was in Crave a long time ago. You help out your kid, take him on a vacation, whatever. Usually
you grow out of that, but
not me. I loved it.
Not everybody.
Are you kidding? That got me out of the room, out of the hotel. I said, you know what? I got to take Monty's places to go. We
thought that was a good fit for you.
Yeah, and you know what? He narrowly escaped some interesting positions he was in. He almost got eaten by a shark. He almost got eaten by a grouper. But Monty, we're really proud of you, buddy. Get a bobblehead like that.
Wow. All right. Before the water line broke, Salvador Perez hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. The Royals had 3 before Clevenger got an out. The Indians got an RBI single from Michael Brantley in the 3rd, and then Yonder Alonso. That home run landed on a pipe in the bullpen and smashed the pipe to pieces. And now we're just standing around as the umpiring crew and the managers are trying to figure out what to do, but it doesn't look like the water's stopping. Joel, what have you learned?
Well, just trying to talk to a few people, and the head groundskeepers aren't over here, but from what I am hearing, no, nothing got knocked out. A home run didn't hit anything. Apparently, there's an issue, and has been an issue, with a drain valve from the fountains, and that is what is pouring out. And the one of the umpires just looked at me and said it's my fault. Of course it is. But anyway, this had nothing to do with today's game. I'm told that this might have been something that has happened before, perhaps when the Royals have been out of town. I can't confirm that, but what I have heard from multiple people is it is a drain valve involved with the fountains.
Well, it's not stopping, and the grounds crew's doing a good job of moving the water. Problem is the water just keeps coming out.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know for sure, but I think if they resume, it would be the first time that two teams were playing with 10 members of the grounds crew on the warning track moving water to a drain.
Yeah.
And the point being, at some point, I mean, this is just going to be futile. I mean, if the water keeps coming out, I don't know. I mean, they could do this all night, but what they're doing essentially at the moment is getting us quicker to resuming playing if they do get that valve turned off, because that water was headed along the right field wall towards center field. I mean, it was just staying right along the wall, and the slope of the field was taking it towards center. So looks as though there is no immediate solution, and Ned Yost tells the players to come off the field. Sometimes you see things at a ballpark you've never seen before. And we've seen sprinklers go off in the middle of a game.
Well, you just hope it doesn't take the time so Keller will cool down too much so you can't come back out. He's a starting pitcher.
I mean, they're just doing that over and over again. Taking all that water over to a drain, but then the next group of ground crew, they come through and they push a bunch of water toward the drain.
No, they're trying to do exactly like you said, until they can hopefully get it shut off. They'll have already been ahead of it. But if they can't find a plumber this time of night, could have some issues. Cedarstrom, he is the crew chief. He's out there getting the lowdown.
Everyone's in the dugout except for Brett Phillips. Wanted to know what's going on out there. Corn Fed, that's Cal Eldred's nickname, by the way, being from Iowa.
That's a good one.
Ned's nickname is Yost.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some of that drying compound. Diamond dried, diamond dust, which the grounds crew will use on the dirt after a rain delay to absorb moisture. So they're starting to pile up those bags for when the valve is closed. I'll tell you what, where they're fortunate is that there's a drain in that area. I mean, it's standing water on the other side of the fence there. Look at how high the water is. It's all the way up to the gravity is taking it toward that drain, and it's really helping out the ground screw to get some of the water off. Getting an announcement now from Royals Vice President Mike Swanson. So it has been confirmed that it's a busted pipe out there. Joel had reported that it was a valve associated with the fountains. So the water coming out of the ground and making its way to the fountains to supply the water spectacular. And that's where the pipe has gone bad. Joel had also learned that it's possible that this is not the first problem that they've had with the valve. It's just the first problem they've had with the valve in the middle of the game.
Last homestand we had several rain delays, but this
over 4 hours worth of rain delays.
Right.
In the last game, what was it, 2 hours and 14 minutes?
Was.
Well, it looks like, is it just me or is it not, water not coming out
as much?
Yeah. And actually that could be water. That water looked like it was coming down rather than going up, so that might just be water that's draining.
Those guys
not pouring out like it was earlier.
They look like they got some nice tennis shoes that are going to need to be dried out after tonight. A little soggy.
What if that drain wasn't there? The entire right field corner would be underwater.
The warning track.
So this is bad luck that this happened in the middle of the game, but some good fortune that there's somewhere for the water to go and somewhere for the guys to send that standing water. Brad Keller was pitching with 2 outs and a runner at second base, and that's when we noticed everyone moving around in the bullpen. And then in the Royals dugout, everyone's attention was focused on the right field bullpen, and assistant trainer Kyle Turner popped out, and so we're thinking, oh boy, is somebody injured out there? And then that's when we discovered that water was coming out of a pipe. There's KT, so it's a relief for him that it wasn't an injury in the bullpen. And so Cal Eldred speaks with Brad Keller, keep his concentration on the task at hand. And now Ned's going to go out there and get to the bottom of this. It looks like they got the water is not coming out of the ground in the volume that it was just a little while ago. I can't tell if that's coming up out of the ground or if it's draining from the standing water on the other side, but there clearly is not as much water to push now for the grounds crew, so that's a good sign. There's Trevor Vance behind the umpire on your right, the longtime head groundskeeper who was mentored by George Toma and then took over in the late 90s, and now they're opening up bags of Diamond Dry, so we're getting closer to resuming the game. But boy, that was a lot of water. It's going to be an even longer layoff for Mike Clevenger. So he and his catcher Jan Gomes are staying in the game and chatting about what they're going to do when they take the mound again, while Cal Eldred and Brad Keller discuss what they want to do with Greg Allen. And I don't think they start opening up those bags of the drying compound unless they're pretty confident that the water leak has stopped. There's Brian Flynn in the back right corner there, and he looks like he's preparing to begin to warm up. There's Gary Cedarstrom. He's the crew chief. So a good sign that he is leaving that area and heading back toward the field. He'll probably have a chat with Terry Francona. There's Ned Yost. He wants to go back there and see that valve. Now what happened here? .220, .221, whatever it takes. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Mr. Mom?
But that's the first time Ned's ever checked the plumbing here at the K out there.
I'll guarantee you, though, on Boulevard Royals Live after the game, he will have a thorough explanation as to what happened. That kind of stuff interests Ned.
Yeah, that's why he was out there.
Well, the water, they're pushing water now right where the bullpen meets the rest of the wall in right center field. And the water had gone another 20 feet beyond that. And all that warning track dirt ended up in the Royals bullpen, so now they're shoveling mud.
That's a lot of unexpected work by the grounds crew tonight. They were just sitting back watching the ball game.
Well, and this is the last thing that the Royals wanted tonight. I mean, if Keller's not able to continue or this shortens his outing. Plus, the Royals landed at about 1:15 this morning from St. Petersburg. So it was already a long night and short morning, and now it's going to be a longer night tonight. The spread shoveling technique. So that concludes our coverage of the busted pipe in right field. And we now return you to regular scheduled programming. Is that your first busted pipe broadcast?
Yes, I can't remember anything like it, except for sprinklers, like you mentioned. Had lights go out.
Our producer Casey Carter reminds me that back in May, Dodger Stadium had a sewage spill. So in that regard, we're better off than they were.
Yeah.
That was during a game between the Royals and the Dodgers, and this kind of thing happens every now and then in Oakland. He'll have a sewage backup. And if this was a sewage backup, I guarantee you that Ned Yost would not be hovering over the scene of the crime.
I believe that.
That's just fresh water. Joel, what have you learned?
Just a little bit, because everybody's down there, and I'm pretty sure that
you can go down there, can't you?
Ned did not look at me and say, "Come on down, Joel. Let's hang out." But I did hear at least.
Give it a shot.
No.
Okay.
I did hear at least that the valve was turned off, so that would kind of add to what you were saying. Now it's a matter of cleaning it up, so they've at least stopped more water from coming out there. I did say to one of the umpires in passing, "You ever seen one of these before?" Like you were saying, Ryan, we've never seen this. And he said no. He said, "We did have a bee delay with a queen bee coming down in the middle of a game in San Diego." And I thought, that's a little scarier than this one.
We had that in Tempe a couple of spring trainings ago. Swarm of a couple thousand bees descended upon a game between the Royals and the Angels in Tempe.
Yep.
Interesting. This is 2008. So this is a year before the full renovation at Kauffman Stadium. It's not the first time the warning track's been completely underwater.
Wow, that might be something similar.
Been a 23-minute delay, so I think Keller's still in good shape, Hud. I mean, there are times where a pitcher has to sit through a long half inning because his team is scoring runs. It's probably more of a concern about Clevenger right now, because Clevenger got the last out of the bottom of the third inning, and then his team has sent 4 to the plate, and now the delay. But there isn't any movement now in either the Indians bullpen or the Royals bullpen, other than the grounds crew. Clevenger's walking around to stay loose.
Yes.
Says sunshine on the back of his jersey, and I suggested, you know, that's because of his attitude.
Yeah.
And he is from Florida, Sunshine State. It was also suggested to me, remember that great Denzel Washington movie?
Yep.
Remember the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
One of the characters was nicknamed Sunshine.
Yeah.
And he has a resemblance to Mike Clevenger. All right. Well, we'll take a quick break, but it does look like we're getting a lot closer to the Royals retaking the field. broken pipe associated with a valve and a water line that goes from the Royals bullpen up into the fountains in right field, and they've turned the water off, and now they've got most of the water, the standing water, off of the warning track in right field. And see, some of the Royals have come out of the dugout and are anticipating retaking the field. I think most of the time Royals grounds crew are completely prepared for whatever comes their way. This was something completely out of the ordinary.
Thought they did a nice job. Heck, they immediately started trying to push that water into that drain to save time. Whenever they did get it stopped, they got it stopped, and now they're getting ready to work it. Way to go, Trevor. Good job. We know how things happen.
As if it never happened.
He's calling his wife, telling him he'll be a little late tonight.
Or the league. I'll imagine at some point, if Trevor's asked about this, or we'll listen to Ned's comments after the game on Boulevard Royals Live, at some point they will bring up how fortunate they were that there was a drain as close to that broken pipe as there was. Yep. And now Brad Keller will go to the steps, and the Royals will retake the field. Yan Gomes will be the runner at second base with 2 outs. Well, there are 2 casualties tonight. One, it looks like the hot dog race. Maybe the footing would prove to be a hazard. So look at that poor guy.
Oh, man.
He's been waiting all year to run in the hot dog race.
Oh, that's
and see, he almost started running right there. Just like, all right, look, buddy. Probably got 2 buddies from work or a couple of cousins, and they've been trash talking all month about this. And the Royals told them, all you need to do is show up. Don't wear warm clothes, because you're going to have a gigantic hot dog costume on. The only thing you have to worry about is if a pipe breaks in the Royals bullpen, but that's never happened before. And that's it. One of those guys is probably saying the story of my life. But they got to meet Joel on the way out. So
yeah,
there's that.
That's big.
Salvador Perez warms up Brad Keller after the long delay, and Salvi, who had 2 RBIs on the whole road trip, turned in our Dodge drive of the game in the first inning when he drove in 3. And then in this inning, Yonder Alonso led off with a home run to right field. Brad Keller got a couple of ground balls from Cabrera and Kipnis, and then Yan Gomes just missed a home run to left field, hit the top of the left field fence, and that's when our attention turned to the bullpen in right field with the broken pipe. And now here comes Greg Allen with a runner at second and 2 down, and Greg Allen led off the 3rd inning and really helped set up the Indians' first run. He singled, then he stole second, then he went to 3rd on a fly ball to left, and Michael Brantley got him to the plate. It was a 30-minute delay right on the nose. Well located pitch, no balls, 2 strikes, and now Brad's next pitch will be number 80, so that's a 20 pitch average per inning, which is high. And now he has the extra up and down, as they say, having to sit through the delay. Allen strikes out, so Keller, after the delay, comes out throwing strikes. 3 strikes in a row to get Allen. He has struck out 5 tonight. Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. And on KU night, Bill Self's basketball Jayhawks were out there for the first pitch.
A lot of those shoes were sparkling white when they got to work today. They looked at the forecast and says, I have no rain. Beautiful. Now they got dirt all over them.
Kiss of death.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what Mike Clevenger does. He was waiting around for much longer than 30 minutes that Keller had to get through. After he gave up the 3-run home run to Salvador Perez, Clevenger set down 9 in a row. He allowed a walk, a single, and a home run to begin his night. But down 9 up, 9 down. And 1-0 on Lucas Duda. He fouled out to third in the first inning. And now a slicer up the left field line. Brantley is there and makes a play. 1 down. Let's go back to Joel.
I just chatted real quickly on the phone to Trevor Vance, who would be somewhere underneath the bullpen or right field now, but I assume in his office, and couldn't confirm about any kind of break or anything like that with the valve. What he can say is all that water was fountain water. It wasn't as much as it looked, but they have shut off that valve and they have drained part of the fountain to assure that there won't be any overflow. He said there won't be any more issues tonight, so they've got it taken care of. I had a couple of other guys on the grounds crew say to me, they have never seen anything like that before. Neither have we, but looks like we're okay for the night.
Alonso takes charge. You can hear him screaming all the way up here. I've got it. I've got it. So similar to, it always looks like it's raining harder on TV than it actually is. As Joel put it, there really wasn't that much water out there in right field.
Yeah. Good thing. Could have been longer and could have lost the pitchers.
Outside to Ryan O'Hearn. Clevenger struck him out with a slider in the first inning. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Ripping 3 and 0.
Yeah, it was good swing. O'Hearn really impressive with his at bats. Seeing pitches, good level swing. He's an intense competitor, no question about it. He loves it, but the reports I'm getting on him, very even temperament, which is great disposition to have for baseball. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, doesn't get too upset, doesn't snap, you know. And can sure swing a nice level bat. Look at that.
Fair, just inside the line. On another 3-2 count. Gosh, how many 3-2 counts has he had in the last week?
Yep, be interesting to know, but still, you can just believe he's got. Let's watch his head on the replay. I can tell you right now, without even looking at the replay, where his head position was. Look at that. Look at that head position. Was way in near the catcher's glove. Look at that. That's one of the reasons he's able to have so much success the opposite field.
And now his buddy Hunter Dozier will try and drive him in. Dozier struck out swinging in the second inning. 1 point. Clevenger struck out 4 Royals in a row and 5 of 6. And that base hit by O'Hearn snapped a string of 11 in a row retired by Clevenger.
That 95 was right there. Sure would like to get him a hit. I'm sure he would. He's 4 for 48 with a runner in scoring position this season. Hitless in his last 19 at bats with a runner at second and beyond. That's pressing. His last hit with a runner in scoring position was July 3rd against the Indians. Maybe this is it.
Still 1-2. Chase the slider down and away. Gomes made contact. So the inning comes to an end. It is KU night at Kauffman Stadium, and new KU Athletic Director Jeff Long will be with Joel when we come back. KU night at Kauffman Stadium, and Joel has a special guest.
The new athletic director at Kansas, Jeff Long, and we've got a lot of KU folks up here. So welcome to the K, Jeff, and tell me about the new job and what some of the priorities are for you right now.
Well, I'm thrilled to be at the University of Kansas, you know, an incredible AAU institution. But, you know, we've got a lot of challenge like every athletic program does. First of all, you know, everybody's mind is football. So we're focusing on our football team and excited about to get the season underway on September 1st.
And I think that we all know what the basketball team is capable of doing every single year, and they were out there on the mound before the game. But let's talk a little bit more about football. You have a football background, a lot of years in football. What does it take what will it take to take that next step?
Well, you know, I think Coach Beatty in his 4th year has really worked hard to build this team. And, you know, we came from a long way down with the changeover in coaching staff 4 years ago. But you know what? I think I see a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of hard work taking place. And you know what? I tell people these are Jayhawks, and they're working hard for KU. And I hope they'll come out and support the team. I really do.
The last question, and it's not a KU question, but now a KU tie to a Royal. But we talked to you earlier today, and Whit Merrifield's dad, Bill, said that he had talked with you or chatted with you, so I assume that you are a Whit Merrifield fan.
No question. I got to watch him play at South Carolina, and then I got to watch him come through the minor leagues there in Arkansas, so I'm a big fan of his sons and Bill's.
We would agree with that. Good luck and congratulations on the new job at KU, and we're looking forward to a lot of great things.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Look at that. He comes on. We see a great play just the way we like it. Guys, back to you.
Got that right. Right as Joel was saying great things, Mondesi made that play.
Well, can I just tell you, wow, man, that ball was through. I thought that was in the outfield. Mondesi showing how quick he is. Man, that ball was scalded too, and look at the throwing stroke. Man, oh man, there's some youth and athleticism right there. Yeah, Keller's thinking, hey, ooh, ball was blistered.
Michael Brantley with 1 out. He's driven in one of the 2 Cleveland runs. And that gives him 14 RBIs against the Royals this year in 10 games. One ball, 1 strike. And as much as he wears out the Royals, it's good to see him healthy again. He just had a series of injuries going back to 2015, right shoulder surgery. And then the next year, 2016, he had surgery on the shoulder again. Ankle problems last year. Dozier runs out and can't get it. It's a base hit for Brantley, his 2nd. And then Brantley had surgery on that ankle this past offseason.
Yep, going back. Just couldn't get that arm extended.
So a man on with 1 out to Jose Ramirez. And a look at our sprint trivia question. Name the 2 switch hitting 3rd basemen since 1969 to record a 40 home run season. Phillips takes care of Ramirez, and there are 2 down.
Chipper Jones got to be one.
All right. What about Howard Johnson?
Hojo, good call. How about Bobby Bonilla?
Good one. Writing them down as we speak. All those guys were a long way away from 1969.
Yeah,
so there's got to be somebody in the 70s in there. 1-1 on Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, Chipper's got to be one, so let's just go ahead and get it.
All right, Chipper Jones. Correct.
Ding, 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 ding. Great. And then
didn't Howard Johnson have some big home runs?
Hojo had some 30 home run years. I don't know if he ever hit over 40.
All right. Terry Pendleton, he didn't hit 40 home runs,
nope,
did he?
He had a lot of doubles.
Three balls and one strike on Encarnacion. This guy, once upon a time, Encarnacion, was a third baseman. And when he was a young third baseman with the Cincinnati Reds, they traded for Joe Randa to mentor him.
Really?
Yeah. He was the third baseman of the future, not quite ready to be an everyday third baseman. So at the end of Joe's career, he went to the Reds. And I think Joe hit a grand slam on opening day that year for the Reds. Something like that. So I'll bet Encarnacion wakes up every morning and thinks to himself, where would I be today without Joe Randa?
Yeah.
Brantley runs, and it's hit very high to right field. And Bonifacio makes the play, and that's the inning. So it's an easy inning for Keller, thanks to his defense against the first batter of the inning.
Ooh, man, that's beautiful.
In our Pizza Ranch for the win pitching line. 6 hits, 2 runs, a solo home run, and he struck out 5. And on one hand, he had a high pitch count. On the other hand, he had to sit 30 minutes in the middle of the 4th inning after that flood out in the right field bullpen. So another solid start for Keller. Three 3-0 on Brett Phillips. He'll be followed by Mondesi and Merrifield. Clevenger gave up 3 runs right away tonight without recording his first out. He has since set down 12 of the last 13 Royals. And a good start to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillips is on with a walk. And that's Clevenger's second.
Parents and grandparents, it's not too late to purchase the perfect gift for your young Royals fans. Purchase the 2018 Sluggers Blue Crew box for just $30. Membership includes a jersey, flat bill cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. Sign up now at royals.com/Blue Crew.
Mondesi shortened to bunt and takes a strike. He took a called 3rd strike against Clevenger in the 2nd inning, so he's been fighting a little hamstring issue, which kept him out of 3 of 4 games in Tampa Bay, at least from the starting lineup. Bonifacio had some back problems. He was out of 3 or 4 games. They're back in there tonight, and now Mondesi bunts that back into the crowd. And with his defensive play in the top half of this inning, that continues his streak of, at some point in every game he plays, we will go, wow. Still 0-2.
Glad to see him swinging the bat here. Now, last couple of seasons when he had a couple of cups of coffee up here in the big leagues, obviously was overmatched swinging the bat against big league pitching. He's so young. And he bunted. So look, I was like encouraging. Now I'm sure Ned was too. Look, continue to bunt. Man, you bunt 2-3 times a game and get on base and use your speed. But now that he's much more confident in swinging from both sides of the plate, man, he's dangerous. He can kind of ease back on that button a little bit, especially with anybody on base in this ballpark. Mondesi has 4 homers this year, 2 from the left side, 2 from the right, and we've seen tape measures from both sides of the plate out of them.
Two and two.
Okay, let's show you the numbers, the Statcast on the play. Check out the exchange between glove to hand. 1.24 seconds. That's one of the reasons why he was able to get Mr. Smile by a good step.
Fastball up, got him, and that is Clevenger's 7th strikeout. And here comes Whit, who has not extended his hitting streak yet, but he walked and scored on Salvador Perez home run in the 1st inning, and he's also flied out to deep left field. Clevenger, when he first went to the rotation for the Indians, he was so amped up, high octane, that Terry Francona wanted him to tone it down. And Francona's great line, we don't need 96 miles an hour in the bullpen, we need 96 miles an hour throughout the season. And so you would think a guy like Clevenger, with all that energy, fast twitch, that he would be vulnerable 3rd time through the order, because you just simply run out of gas. I mean, you can only be amped up like that for so long. Whit drives it up the left field line, foul, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So you would think that would be the case, but you/me would be wrong. He's at his best 3rd time through the order, and his line drive rate, so the percentage of balls put in play, that are line drives, third time through the order, is second best in the major leagues to Chris Sale.
Wow. So he has refocused and rechanneled that energy and the life. Hit and run here.
Perfect spot with a fastball, 1-2. Whit's walk in the first inning was his 50th. Caught by Ramirez, who guns it to first, and Phillips is back in time. 2 down. The Royals will not see Trevor Bauer in this series. He is on the disabled list, our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. He has a stress fracture in his right leg. That was after taking a line drive by Jose Abreu about 10 days ago. I wouldn't want to take a line drive up the bat of Jose Abreu. I don't know about you.
No.
There's a few other guys I'd pick before him.
That's right. He's about 240, 50 pounds, and he can swing it.
Snap throw to first.
Combs, quick exchange there. Almost got him. He's an outstanding catch and throw guy.
Alex tonight has a bloop single, a run scored, and he is struck out. And we were talking about all the bad luck he's had over the past month, but he is hitting line drives at a very high rate, which is about all you can control as a big league hitter. Get a pitch to hit and hit it hard. Two balls, 2 strikes. Alex didn't like it. So how has Alex done over the past 30 games? 247. Nothing special about that. That's 51st among American League hitters. So then you bring in the bad luck. He is 6th as far as how many line drives he's been hitting. And there's another one. That one ends up being a base hit. Phillips heads for third, running on Greg Allen, and Alex has a 2-hit game. And now there are 2 on for Salvador Perez, who's already hit a 3-run home run tonight.
Add another line drive, and that one found some green grass out there. That's a good swing. Again, not trying to pull it, hitting it where it's pitched. That's been the key for Alex. Phillips using his speed, taking the extra base, and with 2 outs, Allen didn't fall for it, the center fielder. He wasn't going to try to throw him out. Lots of times that'll get the competitive juices flowing. They want to throw you out.
Ooh, man. Salvi says, wait a minute. I don't know about that. Says, you're going to call that for me too, right? That's what Clevenger tried to do with Salvi back in the 2nd inning. A fastball away, but he caught the plate, and Salvi hit it into the water. Oh, man. No balls, 2 strikes. He was right on that fastball. Lays off the breaking ball, 1-2. that breaking ball stayed out over the plate. So Clevenger's fortunate that Salvi's still at the plate with the count 1 ball 2 strikes. He has missed badly with a couple of pitches.
Yep, 90 pitches thrown. He's got a little fatigue going. That's when you want to make sure to look out over there for a mistake. Or number 2 strikes, anything close for that matter. Don't let home plate umpire Ramon De Jesus ring you up.
Got a fastball and he grounds it out to Kipnis, and that's the inning. The Royals strand 2, and at the end of 5, the Royals still lead 3-2. Promise, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. And no, that is not Miller Lite on the field.
Hey, they sprung a leak, but the grounds crew to the rescue did an outstanding job. Ned had to go out and inspect, but love the way they worked. They were so efficient. Only 30 minutes it took them, and that was quite a leak. Ned says, all right, thumbs up. We're getting her going.
Yonder Alonso will lead off, as he did in the 4th inning when he homered. That was against Brad Keller. Now he'll face Brian Flynn in a Chevy call to the bullpen. Brian took the loss last night after giving up an unearned run in the bottom of the 9th inning at Tampa Bay. He'll get Alonso, Cabrera, and Kipnis. No balls, 2 strikes. Alonso led off the 4th and homered into the Royals bullpen. That was his 21st of the year and his first season with the Indians. Taking over at first base for Carlos Santana, who plays for the Phillies.
And I didn't see any Royals with any tissue crying that he left the league, as he wore them out.
He made contact, so that's a foul ball. The Phillies, by the way, lost. So did the Braves. So those 2 young teams atop the NL East. Atlanta still has a 3-game lead over Philadelphia. 8.5 over Washington. Good start for Flynn. He strikes out Alonso. 1 down in the 6th. Well, any more thoughts on our trivia question?
Good pitch there. No. I'm having a hard time because there's one that was after 69 that I can't think of. We got one right.
The trivia question tonight with Melky Cabrera at the plate, a switch hitter, but in reference to Jose Ramirez. Name the 2 switch hitting third basemen since 1969 to record a 40 home run season. Now, the 1969 part could be a bluff too. We have identified Chipper Jones. I suggested Howard Johnson. HUD suggested Bobby Bonilla.
Both of those guys had good power. They were switch hitters and good. Played against both of them. But there was somebody before that. I can't. I'm drawing total blank. You can throw one of those guys out there. Might work.
Howard Johnson. Strike 1. Okay, now it's safe to look him up. He had to have come close to 40 home runs.
He did. Ooh, good pitch.
Back-to-back strikeouts.
That's it. Flynn to hold on to the win. Sinker, slider, change, curve. Coming after him. That's exactly what he wants to do right there. Go right after him, Melky. And the milkman, you got to go.
Yep. You were right, HUD.
How many did he have?
He had a 36,
Yep.
a 36, and a 38 home run season. Howard Johnson.
He was a masher. Him and Darryl Strawberry in that lineup.
You want to try Bobby Bonilla? I mean, we're down to our last out.
We are. I don't know. Bonilla played a long time and he had some good years, but 40 home runs is a ton. Yeah, throw him out there.
Bobby Bonilla. Strike 2.
I think there's. Gosh. It'll be one of those. Oh, we should have got it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. What about Ken Caminiti?
Wow, where'd you get that name? That might be it.
I'll just run into the teams here.
Throw him out there.
All right, hang on. We got a strike yet.
I like that.
Wasn't Sean Figgins.
No. Figgy was good on the bases and stealing, but he had not that kind of pop. But I love that Cammy guess. That's probably it. But maybe not.
That's the best I can do. Want to give it a shot?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's let Flynn strike out Kipnis. Nope,
Okay.
a foul ball. Ken Caminiti. Ha-ha, correct.
Ding, ding. Way to go, partner. Way to pick it up.
How about the drop in the 1969 on us? Trying to get us stuck in the 70s.
They were trying to mess with us. Good job. I knew Chipper for sure. How many Chipper have? Over 40. He was a Hall of Famer.
Dozier crosses the line and makes a play. Flynn has a 1-2-3, top of the 6th. 3-2 KC.
Okie dokie. Watch out. The Moose. He got loose in Milwaukee in the throwback unis. Beautiful stroke. We've seen it many times. 23rd. Get this courtesy slide.
Royals are still leading 3-2. They got all three on a first inning Salvador Perez home run. Lucas Duda leads off our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is David Baker from beautiful Lee Summit. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, David wins $600. 1 ball, 1 strike. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, David wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals.
We get a lot of names from beautiful Lee Summit. We must have a lot of Sonics there. Uh-oh.
Deep right field and caught. Sorry, David.
Darn it. That might have landed in the drain they drained all that water from if it went another foot. I mean, it was sky high. Thought the wind might help that as high as it went.
Melky Cabrera thought he was a little closer to the fence than he was. No balls, 1 strike on Bonifacio. Remember last year the Royals made the trade for Melky Cabrera coming over from the White Sox. We were in Baltimore at the time, and Melky did just fine for the Royals, but for whatever reason, that's when the Royals season took a turn for the worse. Seemed like the perfect addition at that time. The Royals needed another bat. Players were excited about him returning to the Royals because his first season with KC was 2011, when all those guys were coming up from the minor leagues, and Melky was one of the guys that they followed, and Melky had a career season with the Royals in 2011, but just did not work out. That year, Melky Cabrera, Jeff Francoeur, and Alex Gordon became the first outfield in baseball history where each had at least 40 doubles.
Wow. Some good production there.
And you know who the center fielder was among that group?
Beltran? No. Is that? No, I don't.
Gordon, Francoeur, and Cabrera.
Wow. Too bad.
Anyway,
got up under that.
We'll try again later. Allen makes the play in center field. 2 down.
Enjoy $10 tickets with Price Chopper Ballpark deals. Available now exclusively through the Ballpark app. Get a $10 ticket for Sunday's game versus the Indians. For more information, visit Royals.com/ballparkdeal.
Let me try one more time. In 2011, Alex Gordon, Melky Cabrera, and Jeff Francoeur became the only outfield in Major League history where each had 40 or more doubles. Which one of those three do you think played center field?
Oh,
Carlos Beltran is not the answer.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't hear the question exactly. Melky played center.
There you go. Good job, Hud.
Ding 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 ding.
2-1 on Ryan O'Hearn, who has struck out and doubled against Clevenger. He's at 103 pitches with 2 down in the 6th inning. They are ready to go if needed in the Indians bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him looking. So Clevenger finishes strong. He has an 8 strikeout, 6-inning performance, but the Royals still lead 3-2. Home run. Kevin McCarthy is the next Chevy call to the bullpen. So Brian Flynn, who's typically used as a long man, goes just 1 inning, but Ned Yost has had to use his bullpen a lot more than he has wanted to, and in particular Tim Hill. So Flynn gets 1 inning, and now McCarthy gets the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. The Royals take a lead into the 7th inning. It'll be Gomes, Allen, and Lindor.
Big Mac is his nickname. Not big, but Mac. Sinker, slider, change, curve, ground ball specialist when he's working right.
Yan Gomes just missed a home run in the 4th inning. He hit the top of the chain link out in left field. And I mentioned he has a couple of big home runs against the Royals this year. He had a walk-off home run back in April. And he also has a grand slam against the Royals. That was in July. He has homered 3 times. 3 of his 12 have come against the Royals. Tonight he has 2 hits, and he's on to begin the 7th inning. And now Greg Allen. He singled leading off the 3rd inning and scored the Indians' first run on a Michael Brantley base hit. He also has a stolen base tonight. Royals were ready for the bunt. One ball, 1 strike. Not bunting that time, and he's checking in with Mike Sarbaugh, his 3rd base coach. Gomes looked a little surprised by that move.
Quick feet. Good tag. Left-handed first baseman make it a little bit easier on that tag with that right hand right there on the throwing side. where they put that ball. Right-hander's got to reach around.
Bunting again, and rolling foul. Salvi had a good shot at picking that ball up and throwing out Allen. And I think when he saw that ball spin, he thought, well, let's try and keep that tying run at a scoring position.
Yeah, and there's 2 strikes now, so he's might strike him out. It's good play by Salvi. He understands every ball that's hit within 10 feet, 15 feet out in front of him. He knows every little nook and cranny. Make the play with the best of them.
Whit. Did he get Gomes? Yes. And it's a double play.
That's a nice instinctive play for a second baseman. You see a little chopper coming in, your full momentum's coming in. Why not just tag him? And you can see how he tried to get the ball over there just nice and easy. Got him, no problem. Excellent reaction. Another ground ball double play for Mack.
One on Francisco Lindor. Look out. That was into the netting above the third base dugout. Well, you get an opportunity in baseball every day. Last night in the 7th inning, Whit Merrifield had a chance to make a double play with Kevin McCarthy on the mound and threw it away. And the tying run scored. McCarthy got a blown save. One night later, 7th inning, Whit Merrifield has a chance to get a double play with McCarthy on the mound and got the job done.
And that's the beauty of the game. And lots of times managers that have been around a long time understand, you know what, I'm going to put him right back out there. Let him have a chance to redeem himself.
So McCarthy uses that for inspiration and strikes out Francisco Lindor. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals lead by 1. Salvador Perez hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning before the Royals recorded an out. That's all the Royals offense tonight. Indians got a run in the third on a Michael Brantley single, and then a Yonder Alonso home run in the fourth to make it 3-2. And then while the Indians were batting in that inning, a pipe broke and the warning track in front of the Royals bullpen and the area in the Royals bullpen was flooded. So Ned Yost went out there, and with the help of the grounds crew and a 30-minute delay, they were able to get the pipe turned off and absorb the excess moisture out there. And that's all the offense tonight. And now it's Andrew Miller in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 3.27 ERA, which is huge for him. And he'll get Dozier, Phillips, and Mondesi in the 7th.
Yeah, he's kind of rounding into form. He's missed a lot of time, had some issues with his knee. Throws a hard cutter. He's 94 to 98. Hard cutter inside on righties. Curveball change. Got him. That'll work. Get a Royal on.
Leadoff man on. Brett Phillips is coming up. Let's go to Joel.
Minor league spotlight, and last year's first-round draft pick Nick Prado on a roll. The 19-year-old first baseman. Check out that OPS over his last 17 games, 954. We had a chance to visit today with the play-by-play voice of the Lexington Legends, Emma Tiedemann, and she filled us in on Prado and Sully Matias and many of the others, and told us what we have been suspecting for a while. This young group playing very well and coming up through the system together, very, very similar to what we saw with the Moustakas and Hosmers of the world.
Like his glove at first.
They won 11-1 tonight, by the way. So they moved to 18 games above 500, and that group of Royals that won a World Series here also won championships in the minor leagues, something Dayton Moore put a big emphasis on when he took over as general manager. Phillips strikes out, bunting with 2 strikes. So that's 1 down in the 7th inning. And Hud, as you know, there are a lot of teams that, you know, if you win, that's nice in the minor leagues, but priority number 1 is development. So there are situations where you're not necessarily trying to win that game with a bunt or moving a runner or whatever. You're just thinking about the development of the player. But winning in the minor leagues is a priority here, and that was a nice precursor, if you will, to that group winning in the big leagues.
Yeah, and I got to listen to the interview with Emma Tiedemann and was impressed with her and the knowledge of these guys, and also the fact that she told those guys, Joel and Monty, they've stayed together. There was not a lot of movement. They didn't promote a lot of those players. They kept them all together, and I'm sure for that reason.
Brantley makes a play in front of the track to get Mondesi 2 down, and Dozier's back to first.
Boy, Mondesi just missed that one. That would have been some nice insurance. But I'm sure they left that Lexington team alone for that reason. Because there might be 2 or 3 of those guys, maybe 4, including a couple pitchers that could be on that next championship team.
Tomorrow, Joel and Monty will visit with Ben Wilson. He's the radio voice at AA Northwest Arkansas.
Good.
So we'll learn more about the Royals AA affiliate on Price Chopper Royals Live tomorrow. Miller is outside to Whit Merrifield. Whit walked and scored in the first inning. He's hitless, but he is flied to the wall and left and lined to third for his 2 outs. Got the call. It is a pitcher-friendly strike zone, I think, from Ramon de Jesus, who umpires with a lot of energy. We like that.
Yes, we do.
You know, make your call with some conviction.
Right.
Off the end of the bat. Lindor is out. Brantley is in for the out. To the 8th, it's still 3-2 Royals.
The 8th inning, Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Maybe the Royals taking an early page from the Indians.
Yeah, normally the Indians, the team that strikes first, have done it all year long. They've done it against the Royals, especially a very impressive first inning by Salvador Perez's 3-run home run.
All right, we'll talk about that. The end of this one and Fireworks Friday coming up. Also a quick shout out. Want to send our best to big Royals fan John Reedy, his friends on his team at KMA. Tell him keep on fighting. They love him. Our thoughts are with you, John. Guys.
Thank you, Joel. Brandon Maurer pitches in the role that he was signed for, and that is to come on in the 8th inning with a lead. And over his last 11, his ERA is under 1. And what was it about that little section of grass that you liked?
Well, I made a little mistake. I wanted to say last 11, that is outstanding. He's working like they believed he could. He's made some adjustments. He's eaten and ingested enough humble pie. He's had it. No more humble pie. It's time to move past the pie and get some results, and that's what he's doing. A lot of sliders down. His shoulders been lined up a lot better. He's getting some downward movement and really staying out of the middle for the most part with that fastball.
He'll get Brantley, Ramirez, and Encarnacion. Ooh. 1-2 on Brantley. He struck out in the first inning and then singled in his next 2 at-bats with an RBI.
Hold on. Okay, get out of here.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
I think that's Dale.
That was a...
I think Dale got tossed.
That didn't take very long.
Oh, my. Ooh, Dale.
Ramon de Jesus. Itchy trigger finger.
Yeah, he's quick fuse.
The argument probably was, if the pitches before that were strikes, why wasn't the third one a strike? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch that had the dugout fired up. It was received low by Salvi, but according to the strike zone, it was right along the lower edge. And I think there was a pitch earlier in that sequence in that same area that was called a strike. And that is a slide and a catch by Alex Gordon. The Royals left fielder rips off the Indians left fielder, and that's a huge out for Mauer.
I think Brantley's hit one or two of those over his career to Alex Gordon. And Brantley's in his 9th year in the majors, and they've been competing against each other a long time. So that's not very smart hitting. It's a great read by Alex. Looking like the glove position. Pulled up a little Trevor turf. That's all right. Oh, watch out.
And now Mondesi has it skipped by him. So 2 shots for the Indians in the 8th inning, and that's Ramirez's first hit tonight.
Mondesi, good effort. Just kind of the Olay, throw your glove out there, hope it lands in it. Now, this particular situation with 1 out, less than 2, he might attempt to steal. Last time he was on base with Encarnacion up there was 2 outs. Don't necessarily want to get thrown out for the 3rd out and leave your power hitter leading off.
Yes, that was a swing. And Encarnacion says,
okay,
I agree.
That's the identical one he got called out on.
It's been a pitcher-friendly strike zone tonight.
You know that as a hitter, so you better be hacking.
There goes Ramirez, and it's fouled at the plate. The Indians lead the major leagues in stolen bases. And if that continues, Terry Francona's 2018 team will be the first in Indians history to lead the major leagues in stolen bases. And they're second in the American League in home runs. Power and speed. Not running. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Behind you.
Not running, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Last year, by comparison, the Indians were 8th in the league in home runs and 9th in the league in stolen bases. That was a team that was led by pitching. An Indians team that won 22 in a row. Pulled foul, and that 22-game winning streak started a year ago tonight, which the Royals ended in Cleveland. They extended the streak to 22 against the Royals, and the Royals won. But that was a team that led the American League in ERA. Both their starters and their bullpen had the lowest earned run average in the American League.
And it was impressive. After the game, this place was packed. All the team came out.
Dozier sets his feet, throws low. O'Hearn pulls it out. Ramirez goes to second. 2 outs.
Went and got it. Was able to set his feet, tap that glove, get the timing right. A little short hop pick there. O'Hearn's reaching out and getting it.
22 wins in a row, by the way, is an American League record. And I love this note about the Major League record. The 1916 New York Giants won 26 in a row, all at home. There were travel restrictions during World War I, and they had a 32-game homestand.
What?
26 in a row, all at home.
Wow.
Upstairs to Yonder Alonso, ball one.
That's an interesting piece of history. Wow.
Vin Scully used to say it's interesting to note. So there's the first one for you, Hud. The other one is the longest winning streaks in American League history were both extended by and ended by the Royals. Alonso pulls it foul.
Wow.
The 2002 Moneyball A's, who won 20 in a row. They won number 20 against the Royals. That was Scott Hatteberg's walk-off against Jason Grimsley, which was featured in the movie. And then last year.
Okay. I remember in 2002 that run Oakland went on.
That's because your Angels ended up winning the World Series.
And during that streak, those Angels won 18 out of 20. And they couldn't shake them. It was one of those things. Couldn't get no distance between them.
3-1 on Alonso with the tying run at second base, 2 outs. High and deep and gone. That is the second home run of the game for Yonder Alonso. And Cleveland leads for the first time, 4-3.
Okay, that's the heater. That's the one that's getting him in trouble. 94, that's in and up.
Was that a 2-seam grip?
Looked like a 2-seam.
Trying to. Where was Salvi set up on that pitch? Trying to sink that down and away?
I don't know. Too bad.
Yep, Salvi's away. So he's got the 2-seam grip. Salvi wanted that pitch to ride away from Alonso.
Huge miss.
And now 3-1 on Melky Cabrera. In the bottom of the 8th, the Royals have Gordon, Perez, and Duda. And now a walk after the 2-run home run. That home run, by the way, wasn't the first hard hit ball in the inning. Alex Gordon made a sliding play in left field against Brantley, and then Jose Ramirez almost took Mauer's cap off with a single to center field. Then Encarnacion grounded out, and then the no doubt home run to right by Alonso. And the Royals may need Willie Peralta for more than 3 outs tonight, as Kipnis takes a fastball at 92 for a strike.
That's low velocity for him.
Changeup fades outside.
It's too bad Mauer's been on a nice run.
And that's well hit to center. Phillips is there and makes a play. So it was noisy The Indians get 2, but the Royals are down by 1. They haven't scored since the first inning. Back, they led from the bottom of the first inning until Yonder Alonso's 2-run home run in the top of the 8th. So a blown save for the Royals, their 21st, and now Brad Hand, who came over in a trade with the Padres, he had 29 saves with San Diego. He'll hit the bottom of the 8th.
Nope, he's got good stuff. He was one of the prized left-handed bullpen guys that was out there, and they call him protein shake. Hard fastball, slider, low 90s. Beauty right there. Yep. You throw that against lefties and righties. Occasional changeup. Protein shake.
Another example of a one-time starter getting new life as a reliever. Brad Hand came up through the Marlins organization as a starter. Grounded out to Kipnis in shallow right. One down in the bottom of the 8th. A couple of years ago with the Marlins, Brad Hand was kind of a swingman. He was starting and pitching out of the bullpen, and he was designated for assignment. The Padres picked him up and they moved him exclusively to the bullpen, and that's when his career took off. He made 82 appearances 2 years ago, and then 72 last year, and very quickly went from just an average to below average starter to an elite reliever.
And figured it out. And one of those things too is the angle, the arm angle he has. He has a really interesting slot, and he's starting to get into the time in his career where he's inventing stuff. He's learning how to change speeds. Makes him even tougher. Change speeds, arm angles. He's confident. He's got that little leg. He flicks his leg out there for a little deception to the hitter.
He was a second-round pick once upon a time by the Marlins, so they thought very highly of him.
Watch him kick his right leg. He kicks it straight out, then brings it back quickly.
in a touching moment before the game tonight. Royals fan who's been a Royals fan since he was a little kid. He used to come out to the Gloves for Kids event. Colin Couch, who has cerebral palsy, and his father Dave were on the field. And Colin was so excited to meet Salvi, and Salvi got down on his knees and said, "Colin, I'm going to hit a home run for you tonight."
Wow.
And he did. He had a 3-run home run in the first inning.
Colin will never forget it, and Salvi probably never will either.
Salvi's on with a 1-out walk. Here it is, a 3-run shot in the first inning. Our copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. And I met Colin's father, Dave, in my first years with the Royals. Friends with Mike Sweeney, and known Colin since he was a little boy. Lindor in the overship, and still got the force at second base. So just a 4-6 fielder's choice.
Yeah, well, you can't totally blame Melky in right field. Left-handed power hitter and Duda. He's back, and he's not the fastest coming in. You can't even see Melky in the picture. He was way deep.
6'4". I said 4'6".
Yeah, and you know what? So if you're Salvador Perez, you want to be a little less than halfway, because most of the time Lindor's going to catch that ball. It hung up a long time, so there wasn't a whole lot Salvi could do. It's a force play. If it was a tag situation, it might be different, but he would never tag from that position.
Jorge Bonifacio in there after missing 3 games with lower back tightness is 0 for 3 tonight.
What was that little boy's name?
Colin Couch.
Colin. I was out there watching that, sitting on the bench watching that, and the joy on that kid's face was unbelievable. He was just almost coming out of his wheelchair.
Ramirez gets a nice bounce and throws out Bonifacio. To the 9th, Cleveland leads 4-3. Kansas City is brought to you by Dodge. Hurry in and get a great deal at the Dodge Labor Day sales event. It was KU night. Jayhawk football team, or basketball team, is out there for the first pitch. Joel visited with new athletic director Jeff Long. It'll be Willie Peralta in the top of the 9th inning. The Royals scored 3 runs in the first inning. Cleveland got 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. So the Royals maintained that lead until 2 outs in the 8th when Yonder Alonso homered against Brandon Maurer for his 2nd home run of the game. And now Peralta will try and carry that 1-run deficit into the bottom of the 9th. 0-1 against Yan Gomes. He has 2 hits tonight.
He was sitting on a fastball there. Peralta threw his slider. Slider, fastball, changeup. Mid-90s fastball. Maybe a tick above even.
One ball, 2 strikes. That ball was hit hard. So Gomes down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Has his 3rd hit tonight.
The most popular design of the 90s is making a return with this season's Royals Zubaz Palooza shirt. Enjoy a Royals raglan style shirt including Zubaz sleeves with your theme ticket Friday, August 31st. Purchase your theme ticket now at royals.com/theme tickets.
Allen gets the bunt down, and O'Hearn throws high, but Whit keeps his toe on the bag. Allen gets a sacrifice bunt and gets Gomes to second base with 1 out. Tomorrow night, the Royals will see Corey Kluber. Heath Fillmyer will pitch for the Royals. Our coverage begins at 5:30 with Price Chopper Royals Live, and then Sunday afternoon, Jorge Lopez will make his 3rd start as a Royal against rookie Shane Bieber. That's at 1:15. Francisco Lindor is 1 for 4. One ball, 1 strike. Here's a little preview of that pitching matchup tomorrow. Corey Kluber is 16-6 with a sub-3 ERA. Salvi on the on-deck circle, and it's back into the crowd. Mr. Smile. Not only is he a great player, but he plays with a great deal of joy.
Love it.
And that was evident when he first got to the big leagues.
Yep. Wasn't a bit afraid of who he was. Just went out. Was great from the very first year.
Big pitch here. Want to make sure they're on the same page with what to throw to Lindor. Cody Allen is getting ready for the bottom of the 9th inning. The Royals have O'Hearn, Dozier, and Phillips. That'll get Gomes to third. And now the Royals are forced to bring the infield in. Peralta wants Salvi to go through the signs again.
Yep, we're on the same page.
Salvi was set up for something up and in. Now he gives him a low target, and he gets a ground ball from Lindor. O'Hearn looks the runner back, and that is out number 2.
O'Hearn might have been having some flashbacks to last night, thinking, you know what, I got another play at the plate, I got to redeem myself here. But there's no way Gomes is going to come home on that. Yeah, trying to set himself up. Notice how Lindor ran hard all the way through the base.
And now the infield can move back for Michael Brantley. He has 2 hits, an RBI, and he lost a hit on a sliding play by Alex Gordon in left field.
You see any averages at this time of year over 300? That's because the hitter uses the whole field. It's not one hitter that pulls over 300. It's too hard to do. Brantley's stayed inside the ball all night, even on the foul balls.
1 ball, 1 strike. You know, it says junior, and we figured out that his father Mickey, his birth name is Michael, but I remember Brantley's nickname with the Indians being Dr. Smooth.
Huh. Okay. Sounds a little familiar.
So maybe he's still known as Dr. Smooth, but just wanted to give Dad a little love.
Maybe so. Maybe, yeah. They probably filled out a questionnaire, told him what they wanted to be called.
Skips away from Salvi, but Gomes isn't going anywhere. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brad Keller started tonight. He went 5. He gave up 2 runs. Flynn and McCarthy had scoreless innings. Mauer allowed 2 in the 8th. 2-2 on Brantley. A full count, and Jose Ramirez is on deck.
Willie Peralta's in absolutely no hurry to throw a pitch.
And that's the third or fourth time where Willie has stared in for a long time at Salvi's sign and backed off the rubber because they're not on the same page. That'll happen. And now a 3-2 changeup is on the way. And Brantley will take a walk. And that brings Jose Ramirez to the plate. I've been told most of the time when a pitcher has a slow tempo, they're not aware of it. And they have to be reminded by their catcher or their pitching coach. Hey, come on, pick it up. Just kind of get locked in your own little world out there, and there's no clock, so you can take all the time you need. And sometimes it's too much time. Slider for a strike. Royals were praised for many years for signing Salvador Perez to a long-term contract before he became great. Able to look into the future and project what he might become, which he did. He exceeded. He got a new contract. The Indians signed Jose Ramirez to a 5-year deal before last year. How about that for timing?
Yeah, he's made them look good, didn't he? He's very selective.
He had one good year, not a great year, good year. And the Indians thought, okay, I think we have something here. See if we can sign him up long term. And now he's had 2 great years.
Wow. It's paid off for him. He's just really eyeballing pitches. He only swings if it's his.
2-2. And we showed you this earlier tonight, but in 2015 he was a utility player known for his glove much more than his bat. He had .219, and then after 2016 he had .312. He hit 11 home runs, and the Indians were thrilled. Wow. It was after that year that they signed him to the 5-year contract, and he's hit 29 and 37 home runs. Chopped to short, and Mondesi throws him out. So it took a while, but Peralta has a scoreless top of the 9th. Royals are down by 1. about 3.5 hours ago. Got a 3-run home run from Salvador Perez in the bottom of the first inning. Merrifield walked, Gordon singled, Salvi homered. So a 3-0 lead before making it out, but the Royals haven't scored since. The Indians got 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 8th, and now Cody Allen is on for the save. He has 25. His ERA is over 4. And the Royals will send up Ryan O'Hearn, Hunter Dozier, and Brett Phillips.
Yep, he's got a mid-90s fastball and a power curve. That's a 2-pitch mix.
Deep left field. Brantley is on the run. O'Hearn ties it in the 9th inning.
What a swing! That is unbelievable. This young man here, that's his 6th and his 3rd to the opposite field. He's got tremendous level swing. Look at that. First pitch, he's looking there. He just drove that out of the yard, no problem. 2 opposite field homers here at the gate. And they've never seen him before. They said, here, see what you can do with it.
Crowd is mad, but that was a breaking ball. The Royals have scored all of their runs tonight on a home run. They did a lot of that on the road trip. 14 of their last 17 runs have come by way of a home run.
Woke the fans up here. That's a great swing. Another one. 2 extra base hits tonight. Got to ride him. He's hot.
And now Dozier. That's deep to right center field. Allen is back. It is off the wall. Gone. Walk off. Who didn't see that coming? Wow. They had him all the way, Hud. I don't know what you were so nervous about.
Shocked the house. My goodness. Now we know O'Hearn and Dozier are good buddies going back to Texas in their young days, but man, look at him.
Speaking of shock, look at that dugout.
Wow. Dozier out of nowhere, back to back, opposite field. That was special. Fans here, they can't believe it either. I had no idea that was coming. Couldn't see it. I'm sure that's Dozier's first walk-off homer. They'll want that ball.
The rookies back to back. The Royals get 3 in the first inning on a home run. And against Cody Allen, one of the best in the American League, Ryan O'Hearn and Hunter Dozier tie and win the game for the Royals. And Salvi's getting ready for a big splash. Joel, heads up.
Yeah, they see it. Salvi's coming, and now he's like a chemist over there. He's mixing Gatorade buckets. Hunter Dozier with the walk-off homer. Ryan O'Hearn with the game-tying homer. That will buy both of you a Salvi splash. The player nickname of Doge and the player nickname of Bro Hearn just won the Royals the game, and these are 2 really good friends. Hunter, tell me about the emotions right now.
Oh, this is incredible. I mean, never would have thought of it. I mean, he had a heck of a bat leading off. It's unreal. Thank you.
Ryan, how about for you? I don't even know how much time you had to celebrate your home run before your buddy was winning it.
You know what? Back-to-back with one of my best friends after a tough stretch to walk it off is awesome, man. I'm just stoked to be, this guy's buddy and to walk it off, finally get a win.
I don't know how much you guys have talked about this scenario while you're working out every day in the off-season back in Texas, but tell the fans about the amount of work that you have put in together to get to this point.
Well, I mean, we came up in the minor league system together, and we grind all off season together. I mean, this is hopefully just the beginning of all of it, but I mean, I couldn't be more excited for us and Rhino.
How about for you, Ryan?
I mean, I definitely, thought about it. I don't know if we talked about it, but as soon as I hit it, as soon as I got in the dugout, I was on the top step looking for him. So, not surprised. This guy's an unbelievable hitter, and 2 opposite field homers. That's pretty sweet to end the game.
In the K.
At the K, doing it right here too. Okay, last question for each of you. Just tell me about that home run and that opposite field power.
Hey, the guy's got a good fastball. Gordo told me straight fastball, get on it, and that's what I was looking for first pitch, and it was there. So awesome.
Hunter?
Yeah, he went curveball, and so I was selling out on the heater. And got a good pitch hit.
2 rookies getting it done back-to-back and a win. Welcome home. And the first of many walk-offs, guys. Great job.
All right, thank you.
Hunter Dozier and Ryan O'Hearn. And that right there, guys, I don't know if we've ever experienced that. 2 best friends celebrating their contributions.
The first Dohearn Royals victory.
It was great. Are you kidding? That is a feel-good win if I've ever felt one. Believe it.
5-4 thanks to the walk-off. We'll be right back.